Welcome to Media Island, where we bring perspectives from Philadelphia to Texas. Artist to artist, you filmmaker to photographer. You shoot it, we talk about it. Today we're talking about content versus art.
Well,
Started
that
off
was
with
quick.
let
We
Dave
got
go
right where we needed to be. Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
I love
Content
it.
versus art. Content versus art. Because I'm the one who thinks so strongly on this. Content relies too heavily on algorithms. Therefore, it cannot be art in its truest form because art is something that can't be affected by, what is popular, what is. I feel like, I don't know. I don't think content can be art. I just don't think it. I just don't. I can only watch so many light trail videos on TikTok and Instagram before I start going, this isn't art. This makes no sense. This is dumb.
so
It's
and,
it's, it's funny because all of us here are on TikTok. We met each other via TikTok thanks to Cam. He put us all together, and I'll always be grateful for that. And don't we all make content on TikTok at the end of the day? Isn't that what brought us to the dance?
Yes. Yes. I'm not saying my stuff on TikTok's art though.
Understood, but you would think that I don't know. I would say maybe the content is more valuable because it brought us together.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
special.
of course I value it. I love you
It
guys.
wasn't our artistry that magnetized us together,
well,
connected us. It wasn't that.
I'll give you my perspective on this. You're right. Like the content, the stuff that we put on TikTok is content. It's content for sure. We know that. It's because it serves a purpose or anything and stuff like that. I know me personally right now is that I'm switching from making content to just making art. Like there's actually a kid, David, I sent it to you one time, and like everything he puts up is freaking art. Because for me, art makes you think, art makes you wonder, art takes you to different places, art takes your mind, it allows you to imagine. Okay, that's how I see art. The content that I put out, it's not there for that. I know for a fact when I'm putting stuff on TikTok, it's not for to make you think or anything like. It's just sometimes like, hey, I think this is pretty. Hey, I think you like it, and I'm getting rid of that mindset
Hmm.
and switching to. I want you to think about what I'm saying. Like, for instance, the
So the question I have then is, let's say you're making this art, right? You're making things that are more artful than anything else, and you start uploading on TikTok 2, 3, 4 times a week, maybe even every day except for the weekend. During the week, you're uploading this art, and it's
I'm not even
getting
doing that anymore.
nothing.
Like, I'm so for me right now, honestly, I should forget putting it up every day and whatnot. No, because I feel like when I'm
Oh
putting it
yeah,
up
no, I
every
stopped doing that too. Yeah, that shit. Yeah, no,
day,
that
like
sh- that was for the birds. Yeah.
I love that the people who can do it, cool. Congratulations. That's your thing. You got it. But I'd rather take, hours to make one TikTok or days to make one TikTok and put it up at the right time and watch that one blow up or explode. Now, because it's fun for me, I'd rather do that than, let me do this right here. Let me put this out. Let me do this right here. Let me put this out, stuff like that. But I want my
Hmm.
videos to connect with people now. That's what I mainly want. I want people to see it and they be able to feel like, oh yeah, I want to engage with this. I want my videos to live in your mind rent free. To think, oh yeah, he said this. Oh yeah, he said try this out or stuff like that. But that's where I'm at with the content that I'm putting it out. But as far as like when I'm actually taking photos or anything, there's a purpose to it. And there's a reason why I shoot the way I shoot. There's a reason why I shot between these leaves, or I shot between this pole, or I shot behind. It's the reason why I went low instead of high. Um, there's a purpose to it. I think that's what art is. It's purpose. You do things with a purpose behind it. You put something there with a purpose. You put a color there with a purpose. There's a reason why everything is in that frame. There are no. There's a chaotic artistry where it's like you're just jumping in and you're going for whatever you're getting, and you're saying, yeah, this is what I got. You make up your mind of what you see about it. There's a chaos to it, but with content, it's very very structured. It's like I said. I think at least over a year ago, where I said, I'm not a content creator. I'm an artist. I'm out of focus. I'm an artist. Because what I
I'm not a
like.
content creator. I'm an artist. I'm out of focus.
Content like content creation to me is a job. That's a job where artistry is something that I do because I love. Now you can hire the artist to make the content for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, and that's what I do for a living. Now that you mention that, like I'm the artist that people hire to make content for their business, and I do it in an artistic way. That's where I get. That's where
Exactly.
I'm being commissioned.
Perfect.
Yes,
That's perfect.
commissioned. Yes, that is the important word. Commissioned.
Like you can hire the artist to make the content for you. Like for instance, even if you hire somebody to paint a wall. Like there's this girl, she goes into rooms and she paints anime style walls, and like she does it in her way. She's the artist being commissioned to create her art, making her a content creator, but she's still an artist.
Right.
So I think you can be both.
I think the three of us are both. I think the three of us are both because I see us doing a balancing act.
I wouldn't say that
David.
both because David, you know how David feels about this.
But here's the thing. So what we're doing right now, we're creating content. This isn't art.
Yes.
Right? What David does on TikTok, he has said himself, it's content.
It's content. It's not art.
It's content. So content's what brought us together. Content is bringing us together right now. We're making content right now. He's a content creator.
I believe that content. I believe that content can be powerful. I do believe that. I am not saying one is better than the other. I am not. I am simply stating that content and the way that you have to strategically do things with content, the way you have to repeatedly do things with content is not art. Art allows for exploration. Art allows for not being consistent every single time. Art allows for you to not have to replicate or mimic things that came before it or other artists in order to achieve something. Content relies on these things. Some of the strongest videos I have on TikTok, thankfully, are none where I'm mimicking people. But I've done it. There's a reason there are trends on social media. People like the mimicry. People want to see something and then do the same thing to get the same effect. So that is why I say art can't be, content can't be art. I will amend it though, and I will say art can be content. I will amend that. I'll amend that. I will.
Well, thank you for doing us the honor of you amending it. I
can admit when I'm wrong. I can admit when I might have gotten into what I was saying and just like, no, I'm going to stick with it because I'm already committed to it. I can admit that I was committing a little too much to it. Yeah, but it's like, what is that old saying? All rectangles are squares, but not all squares are rectangles.
Okay.
The reason why that is because, squares have four sides. That's what it is. So rectangles can be squares. However, the thing that makes a rectangle is that two of their sides are longer than the other two. It's like that. Yep. Content cannot be art, but art can be content. I'll concede that. But to be clear, once again, I'm not saying
I think content,
one.
I think content can be art. I really do.
I don't think it can. I think the ability. I think the thing that could be artful is the ability to replicate going viral multiple times. Like some of these people are going viral 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. That is an art form in and of itself, I believe.
I mean, yeah, if you got a pretty face and can shake your butt, you'll go viral probably every time you put something up. That's...
Whoa, calm down.
And if you're trying to tell me that a big ass, there ain't no art to that, then I'm out.
Yeah, it's God's art. It's God's art.
Because if you've ever looked at a work of art from behind, then I don't know. We're not on the same wavelength there. There's a lot of art out there on TikTok.
Hey man,
you know
that statue of David looking real thick. If you know what I mean.
That's what I'm saying. Well, maybe not David,
hey,
but yeah.
David, let me ask you this.
What's up?
Say you take away the perspective of the mindset that like I'm making this to go viral or I'm making this for the views or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then can content become art for you?
No, because there's another important thing that has to make something art, and it's a focus on artistic elements, composition, lighting, texture, shape, line, all these things. Like art is not just art because it is a creative thing that someone did. No, art is art because there is a logic behind it, and
That's
there's
what
a
I'm saying. Like, no, they're taking all that in to make this
Mhm.
like I'm gonna stick
I
with
agree.
TikTok right now. I'm gonna stick
Yeah.
with TikTok right now.
okay.
Let's say somebody's making a video and they're giving you those elements. They're giving you like there's a reason why that light is there. There's a reason why that color is there. There's a reason why that texture is there. There's a reason why that sound is there. Like everything that they put into this one video is for a reason. It's it's purposeful, but they're not caring about the views. They're not caring about
So
the
what you're
people.
saying to me is this person made this video with the artistic elements kept in mind, but the intent of going viral is zero.
There is no intent on going viral. They're doing it because they want to.
Yeah, that's good. That could be art. That can be. I just said art can be content, not content, but content can't be art.
We had to make sure. Just had to confirm it. That was it.
No. Yeah. Things that are made artistically, purposefully, with the artistic elements in place in mind. That's art. That is art. Objectively, I would argue, by definition of that, and in art school, that is art. What I'm saying is, if the person is trying to just mimic virality over and over and over and over, or just engagement over and over, or followers, all that, that's content. That can't be art. It's impossible to be art.
There's
I
that
agree. And
there's
I
that
think
there's that legend of Picasso, right, where he's having coffee and dinner someplace, and a
I
stranger
love this
walks up
story.
to him, right, and they're like, "Hey, Picasso, can you draw something for me on a napkin?" Right, and Picasso does a little doodle,
Mhm.
gives it to the lady, and he says, "That'll be $5,000." And she says, "What? This
Yep.
is just a little doodle. I could do that." And he says, "No, you're paying me for the 20 years it took me to make that little doodle, right? That's what you're
Yeah.
paying me for."
Mm-hmm.
So I take that approach, is real pretentious, up my own ass approach
No,
of
it's
of
not.
TikToks.
No, it is
Well,
not.
for me, my TikToks, and I'm still trying to go viral. I'm not hopping on trends because that doesn't work for me. I'm not into that. But
Yeah.
dude, I shoot my TikToks in 12-bit 8K RAW. Okay, I'm very conscientious of my
damn.
composition.
You're killing a mosquito with a bazooka. Why are you doing that?
Because I'm an artist, and this shit's going
Because I'm an artist.
because I'm an artist, and like I'm
Okay.
leaving behind a body of work. You know what I mean? Like I've been on YouTube since 2006. How many years is that? Fucking
Oh,
8.
God,
Not
that
18.
is 16
That's,
years.
16 years? Like Jesus
16
fucking Christ!
years.
You know what I mean? That's a long time, and I still never got that Peter McKinnon swag. It never happened. On TikTok, I've
You
posted.
triggered
300
me.
times.
Stop saying this man's name, or I'm going to go on a rant about why this man sucks.
We'll save that for another episode. But like,
Okay,
I've
fine.
been making hundreds of TikToks, and I do it my way. And what's hilarious is like I'll do it in such a what I would call a creative, artistic way, using the Knives Monroe authorship, my signatures, my fingerprints, and it'll flop and it'll die. I'll re-upload that a year later, and it crushes. It's all about timing. So I'm not leaving it up to the algorithm to decide if it's art for me or not. I know it's art, and I live and die by that sword. Even though it's on TikTok, even though I'm trying to make a buck, even though I'm trying to get some influence, build a community, and do all these other things, and to be told that it's not art, it's like, dude, it's art because I say it is. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but using your logic, if I shit in the middle of the floor and I say it's art, it's art. That's not how it works. That's what I'm saying. Not
I do
everything
think
can be
I
art.
do think. I'm not saying everything can be art. It's all about the intention, right? Like, dude, you
But
have to
that's the
understand,
thing.
like, when Jean-Luc Godard showed his movie in the 60s and it had all these jump cuts
Yeah.
and people were like, what the fuck are you doing? They thought it was noise. They're like, what are you doing? This shouldn't count. Like, this is messy. Now we call
Yeah.
that the French New Wave. It's art,
Yeah.
right? So
No, I understand that. I
well,
understand that.
So
I'm saying
that's kind of the integrity that I bring to content creation, and it is, like you said, art can be content, whatever. But, to me, like, I'm an artist, and what I do is art. And what I leave behind is art for me. That's my body
But
of
here's
work.
the thing. I understand where you're coming from. I do.
I am.
I really
I feel
do.
I feel like Knives. I am what you're saying is not art. That's what I do, and that's what I do really, really well. as an
But
artist.
what I'm saying,
you know that.
but
That's
here's the
why I
thing.
think it's really funny, and why I'm giving you pushback is because
It's okay to give pushback. I'm not saying you.
I take
I'm
a
not
lot
saying
of
you
I take a
shouldn't.
lot of I take a lot of integrity with that. You
Yeah.
know, I'm like I'm proud of what you're saying. I do that.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. But what it comes down to is when we just allow anyone to do anything and call it art, we diminish what
gatekeeping.
the whole. I am probably not really. I don't think I am.
You're saying not everybody
Not
is
everybody.
doing that. Not everybody's an artist.
Not.
I think just
No,
because the
no.
bar has been lowered and just because it's been democratized, the tools, doesn't mean that the level of entry needs to be elite to be an artist.
No, that's not how I feel when I'm saying that, though. I don't think I'm gatekeeping.
I don't know. Like it's weird saying, you know, X, Y, and Z is art, and then this other stuff is not art. Like I don't know why we need to be at the door, literally keeping at the gates of like what is and isn't art. I don't know why we need to do that.
Because it makes for good content.
It does make for good content.
No, it does. It makes for total good content.
It does make for good content. No, it's certainly, you know, and it gets clicks.
I don't think
and
I'm
all that.
gatekeeping, though. I do not think I'm gatekeeping, though. Because anyone, I acknowledge anyone can be an artist. Anyone can be an artist. The thing that I'm saying,
that's what Ratatouille is about, baby. And Ratatouille
yes,
is
that's
the
what
best
I'm
movie
saying.
ever.
But here's the thing. Anyone can be an artist, yes. However, people who are calling themselves artists do not understand how difficult actual art is. They're taking photos of shitty reflections in puddles and calling it art, but it's not. That's not how. It's not saying anything. And art does have to say something. That's what makes it art.
You know, I just feel like I've heard this conversation before by elite photographers that are like, iPhones ruined photography.
Well, I don't think that. I think iPhones are great for photography.
Well, you see, so if someone takes a picture of a puddle on their iPhone 6 and they call it art, then it should be art.
I don't think
now,
so.
is it compelling art that deserves to be put in a museum and to be remembered? Probably not. It's going to be discarded, or it belongs to the digital landfill, sure. But so do many, you know. So I'm sure there are thousands of landfills that are filled with art, and that's okay too. Like, not all of it needs to be protected and will be conserved. You know, like there's so many films that have just disappeared. Most movies ever shot on film have just disappeared. Like, they don't exist anymore because there was one print of them and they're gone. You know what I mean? That's sad. It doesn't mean that what the endeavor was less art. You know, more successful, more eyeballs doesn't make it better art. Like, it's so that's really the question I think that I'm getting from this conversation is it still art if it's bad? And I think it is.
Cam, what do you think?
I gotta agree with Knives on that. That like not all art is good.
Okay.
I for instance, my biggest, and this is the biggest explanation I have of art, is invisible art. I can't fucking stand it. I think it's
is
the
what art? What did you say to me?
Invisible art.
Invisible art. Get the fuck out of here. What?
What is that?
Is he going to send it to us?
Right
oh
now.
God, he's going to
he's
send it to
so
us.
For the listeners, he's pulling up his phone right now. I think he's going to show us what invisible art looks like.
He's pulling his cock out.
Whoa, that is big.
I'm so scared to see what invisible art is.
When he was talking about earlier off mic about an extender, that's not what I thought he meant. Good Lord.
Words.
I'll give you something to be proud about.
And I saw this a long time ago and whatnot. It literally says
Stop,
invisible
no.
art. The gallery that shows how much we hate the rich. That's the title of the article.
I don't know. If Banksy did it, people would call it genius.
No, the person that did it, the person that sold it, genius. It's a freaking genius. Invisible
They
art.
sold it.
There you go.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean. This is exactly what I mean. Some things we need to be able to go, that isn't art. That is not art. Go away. We need to be able to do that for some things. Call me a gatekeeper or not, but like, can we agree? Like, this is kind of stupid. Like, this is beyond stupid. This is. I'm sorry. Hold on.
So you have this sort of platform, and you call it banger or bummer, right?
I know. I hate it.
And well, you have it, and people love it.
Yeah.
And
people love it.
The bummer.
Yes.
When you call something a bummer, has anything that you've ever called a bummer, has it also been art that has fell through those cracks?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that.
So,
yeah.
well, I'm asking. I don't know, but if bad bummer art,
what's that?
if bad bummer art can fall through the cracks, I mean, it just means it's not good. It doesn't mean that it's not art. Art, can we? I don't know. Maybe most art is bad.
Well, if most art is bad, I think we have a problem then.
Like, look at it like this. Like, when you're starting off as an artist, you're going with the mindset to create art. But when you start off, you're not good. Therefore, you're making bad art and
I'm
working.
Still not good.
To making good art or even okay art, because I can't even say really any art is good because it's subjective. You know, like I can say that's absolute fucking trash when somebody else is going to be like, that's absolutely marvelous.
No, there are things we can do to discern between good and bad art. There are things we can do. And there are ways we can, look at it to be able to answer that question.
You're absolutely right. There are ways we could. But the things that we may see as bad, somebody else is going to see like that's absolutely genius. There's always going to be that one person, at least one person, that's going to say, that's absolutely genius. Take country music, for instance. I can't fucking stand it.
Hold on. The country music you can't stand is stadium country. Hold on. The country music you can't stand is stadium country. Willie Nelson is good country music. It is. He is a good country artist. He makes great music. It's Keith Urban who is a problem. Needed to get that off my chest.
But they're both country music. But they're both
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Tell that to CMT.
Well, CMT tried to get what is her name, Casey Musgraves, kicked off of country music. Period. So CMT,
you name dropping, and I don't know any of these guys, but I know what Cam's saying.
Sorry,
I know what Cam's saying.
I understand the principle of what he's saying.
Yeah,
that's it. I get what he's saying. That's all that matters.
I don't know.
I love how hot David gets. And that's one of the things I love about him. And I'm a little older than you. I got like 5, 6, 7, 8 years on you. I'm a little older.
He likes how hot I get.
I used to carry that fire that you had, and I would just barrage people over like, this is shit, or that's elite, and this is great, and that's bad. And I love it because
I'm going to be honest here.
You have good taste, and you know.
Thank you.
And you flex it on people.
Yes. I know.
And people care what your taste is, and they gauge.
And here's what I'm going to say. And here's what I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
And here's the thing I'm going to say. And people are going to, and anyone who listens to this might hate it. You both might hate it too. I think there is, in some cases, a need for gatekeepers. I do.
Here it is. There you go. At least you're being honest.
I'd rather be honest here. Okay, so here's why. So if I have a buddy of mine who wants to get into photography, right? And my buddy he wants to get into portrait photography, specifically boudoir photography. But he's got a horrible attitude towards women, or he body shames men and women alike frequently. I'm sorry. I'm gatekeeping him from going into photography. I'm saying no at any chance I get, even if he has immaculate work. I'm telling him, bro, you should not quit your day job. This is trash. Because he is clearly a bad person.
Okay, so you know what? That can't agree with that.
You can't agree with that.
Let me tell you why.
I can't agree with that either. I can't agree with. Go ahead.
Why.
What?
Let me explain why.
All right.
As far as him being a bad person, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Gatekeep on that. Like as far as going into boudoir photography, cool. Maybe it's something that he shouldn't do. as far as going into photography, I don't think he should. I think he should still be able to do that. I think we should just not, what's the word? Not deter, but change his perspective on what form of photography he should go into. Because obviously he's going into boudoir.
Oh, you want to influence? You want me? You would want me to influence him to be like, hey man, don't do boudoir photography. Do food photography.
Nah, see,
and then choke on the muffin you're taking a photo of.
Influence. I mean, maybe influence might be the right word. I just don't see that as the right word. But I wouldn't say influence him. I would just say guide him. Like, no, that don't do.
I don't know why. I understand that there is. It's easier for everyone to do this. I do. I don't understand why gatekeeping has become bad though. We have gatekeepers around for everything. I'm not saying like cut people's heads off or absolutely ruin their entire lives unless they're a piece of shit. Ruin their entire lives if they're a piece of shit. I'm simply saying
you are saying ruin their lives.
If they're a piece of shit, like if someone brings me pro-Nazi work, I'm going to ruin their lives. Absolutely. They're a Nazi. But like sometimes art isn't just your thing. Sometimes it's not.
Here's what I believe, and this is why like I don't gatekeep, I don't think, although I have, and it's been on record. So someone who's listening to this could be like, oh, bullshit, Knives, in 2007, you blah, 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 and they'd be right. But well, let me say this. I wouldn't spend too much time and I wouldn't waste my breath on that friend in like doing an intervention and trying to sway him from going to one thing or another. And here's why, because I believe in this little thing called LIFE, this little thing called life. And life will take care of that guy. And if you want to look at it through a capitalistic way, the marketplace will put that guy exactly where he belongs. Now, if he is incredible and he gets attention and money and he's making six figures doing that, one can make the argument that maybe he should, and that's his calling or something. But if he bombs, dude, you think he really has like tough skin enough to be doing this for 10 years and not getting any benefit?
Fair.
I really don't think so. Let the market crush him. Let life do its thing. And he will go in and go out, because this is a last man standing game, photography, videography. And not a lot of people are built for this. That's just the truth.
That's true.
And you need to be able to have tough skin to deal with rejection and to deal with ridicule and to deal with the internet telling you that your shit ain't art. And if you can deal with that for long enough timeline, you're going to be successful, I think. It's like stand up. Like you have to bomb 100 times. Some people who aren't strong enough to bomb, then they get weeded out. Survival of the fittest. So I think that guy might not be fit.
I want to go back to the whole gatekeeping thing with me though, because I want to point something out. I do not actively gatekeep on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. I don't. Okay, I don't.
You have a show called Banger or Bummer.
It's not gatekeeping. In that show, what I do is I say, "Hey, you want to take this better? You want to make this photo better? Here's how you do it." I straight up tell people how to improve the photography. How is that gatekeeping?
I gotta agree with David. He doesn't actively.
That's not gatekeeping. Sure. Yeah, not actively. But
I believe in gatekeeping. I just don't think I'm a gatekeeper.
Point of view. I think you have an elitist point of view on photography.
I do. I will say that I do have a very elitist point of view on art. Period. Just art in general. For the longest time, I didn't think Michael Bay was art. Then I actually kind of
we all go through that phase.
Say those words.
We all go through that phase.
Finish that sentence, David. Finish that sentence.
Then you sit there and you watch something like Bad Boys 2 when shit just gets real and the camera's doing that parallax thing. You're like, this is art. Like, it's gotta be, man. It's gotta be.
Dude, the trailer.
I love Michael Bay.
The trailer for Ambulance is art.
Yeah, like. So when I say that I do believe in gatekeepers, I don't think I'm one of them though. I don't have the how do I put this? I don't think you know how I always say 90% of photography on the internet is trash?
Right.
Yes, yep. I think I'm in that 90%.
I knew you. I already knew you thought that. You need to tell me that. I already knew.
What the hell does that mean, Cam?
I know you well enough to know that you think your photography is trash. It's a stupid thought, but I know.
I'm just saying. That's why I don't actively gatekeep. I believe in gatekeepers. I do. But I don't actively gatekeep because I don't think I have the authority to do so. Now, if I ever do get the authority, I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to need someone to constantly remind me it's not okay to gatekeep because there's going to be a part of me that's going to want to for some people. It's just, it's going to happen.
You know how I feel about gatekeeping. I can't stand it. I can't stand them. I hate them, blah, 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 yada, 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 because, the main reason why I hate gatekeepers is because they feel like they're protecting something when they're not. And when they go so hard to protect this one thing, but it's like, just because you're not going to tell somebody, there's other ways that they're going to find it. It's just they happen to see it on your page and they asked you about it. Okay, cool. You don't want to tell me. Fine. I see where you're from.
The worst gatekeepers are the ones with locations in nature. I'll give you that.
And you guys saw my video. It's the reason why I got to meet you guys. It's because of that one video that I put out calling gatekeepers fucking assholes at the end of the day. Apparently a lot of people liked it, a lot of people didn't. Whatever. I don't care. And then there were some people that I did get to talk to that had some really valid points talking about, hey, this happened to this area in my part of town where it used to be this and a bunch of tourists showed up and now it's like this. I was like, okay, I get that. But at some point, that's going to happen anyway. The world we live in now is decaying. It's dying.
Hashtag Thanos was right.
The beautiful shit we see now is not always going to be around. Now, I get you want it to stay that way, but it's like, the question really is, how often do you go back to that spot?
That's a good question.
There's a few abandoned buildings that I've been to. I ain't been back to since then. I went there once. I don't need to go back.
If you're talking about abandoned buildings in Philly, I would go to them once and then never return. Because chances are I'm going to run into someone I don't want to run into, and we're going to have a problem.
I've been stand there every abandoned building that you can think of in Philly. I ain't never ran into not one person.
Lucky. I did it one time. One time in where were we? In South Philly when I was younger. We did it one time. Ran into a homeless dude who would not leave us alone afterwards. It was bad.
I've gone into buildings but by myself. I've gone into buildings with models. I've gone into buildings with friends. And
nice. You are in deep contemplation over there.
Oh, I'm just listening, for sure. Because I'm listening. Because here's the thing, and listeners need to know this. Between the three of us, I'm not a photographer, and this isn't humility and fake modesty.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
I like to take photos. I love to take photos. Like, it's fun, and but I don't do. I don't pose people up, and I've done it. Like for a living. I was a LinkedIn photographer for people's headshots, but it's very like Sears catalog-y. Like, it's not super artistic, and I had fun. Like, for someone that had like a jacked up mouth and their teeth, and they were really insecure, and like getting them to feel secure and smile in front of the camera, and like there was some good fun in it, but I by no means would I call myself a photographer because I have respect for that medium. Between the three of us, you two guys are like the real photographers. So I'm really.
I find it really funny now that I'm now noticing this, Knives. You are the filmmaker.
Yeah,
I am the photographer.
I've been saying that since day one, man. Like, this is.
Hold on.
Always been.
No, I know you've been saying it. I'm saying I'm realizing it now. I'm realizing now this. You are the filmmaker, Knives. I am the photographer. So Cam is literally both of us put together.
So I do have a little outsider perspective, right? And that's why I made the claim that maybe you're gatekeeping, because I'm not inoculated in that world really, and I'm not precious about it. And so it's a little easier for me to kind of throw that shade, because it's like I feel like you're I pulled up the definition of the word gatekeeper here. A person or thing that controls access to something. And I feel like if you had the power or authority, you would control who has access to certain things, right? And to me, it's like I'm more like let everybody do anything that they want, sort of like in a libertarian kind of way, and the good stuff will be good and the bad stuff will be bad. And if 10 million people say a bad thing is good, maybe that does make it good. That's not for me to say, All I can do is what I'm in charge of.
But here's the thing. I don't care what you have to say about definitions, Knives. I'm not a gatekeeper. Don't put this on me while we're recording. Oh
It's
no,
okay
no.
if you are, man.
In
I
all
don't know.
truth
I'm
and
not gonna
honesty,
say
in all
that you
truth and
are.
honesty, I do have the mentality of one. And Knives, you are 100% right. If I had the capacity to limit access to photography for some people, I know I would. I know I would. Because I'm not.
When I was younger in my neighborhood, I was a gatekeeper of, and it takes one to know one, right? Like
Yeah.
when it came to filmmaking, I saw a lot of posers come in the not mirrorless, before mirrorless, and the DSLR revolution where 1080p was now democratized, and you have the cinematic look, and that's one of the buzzwords in my sector over here in the videography world is the cinematic look, right? And all it really was just
photography.
like all it was letterboxing, and they called it the cinematic
Yeah.
look, and whatever. And I used to gatekeep, and I would I would be a dickhead. I was a big dickhead, and I would tell people, you're a poser, you shouldn't be doing this, And I just don't think that was productive, because the truth is, on a long enough timeline, and I was 22, 23, 24, I hadn't had enough reps, and I hadn't had my shit pushed in later in life to really humble me, to be quite honest. But I didn't realize that, like, dude, if they are a hobbyist, if they are a poser, whatever gatekeeping vernacular I was using at the time, then let it play out. I don't need to call for an intervention. I don't care enough. I'm not the captain of filmmaking. Nobody gave me that authority, and filmmaking as a platform, as a medium, owes nothing to me. And sure enough, what happened is they went back to selling cars, or they went back to selling fucking drinks, fucking to lose weight or whatever. And they went back to, this was just a flash in the pan. Let it play out. There's no reason to gatekeep, even if you had the authority or the power, because life tends to kind of work itself out.
Well, and I gotta agree with Knives on that point, where it's like, it goes back to your boudoir friend. Even though he's not a real person.
He's not a real person. Yeah, I have one friend who is a boudoir photographer, and he is honestly the sweetest guy I know. Like, legitimately.
Yeah, so life, we all know this, artists come under a lot of criticism from themselves, from the people that they work with, and from the fucking internet.
Yes.
If dude is a shitty person and whatnot, trust me, women are going to talk. Models are going to talk. Yeah, don't work with this person. He did this. All it takes is one of those, and it's going to skyrocket and blast through the internet, and then he's done. Then he'll go back to photography or something like that. So.
Yeah.
But
I might have
let it play out.
Like I've said before, I may have the mentality of a gatekeeper. I have not actively gatekept though. I have not.
No, I can agree with that. I want to touch on something that Knives just said, because it's starting to bother the living shit out of me. Also, because somebody recently said it to me, that cinematic look when you're taking photos.
The cinematic look, the cinematic experience of Instagram.
At the same time,
shut the fuck up.
Even with videography, like, everybody's looking for that cinematic look. I want that cinematic look. When it's like, get your shit right first, and then worry about it.
Bro, I can't have cinematic look if you're in 480. Like, yo, stop.
Well, and here's the thing, because it's bad color grading decisions, right? Like orange and teal, or slow motion, or like the letterboxing. People think that the bare minimum gives it the cinematic look, and I think it does to dumb people, to the uninformed, if you will. But it's hack. It's hack, right? I see that happen a lot in videography.
The thing that bothers me the most about color grading, real quick, I want to say this real quick, Cam, is there are people who have built their whole motherfucking careers on orange and teal, and they don't understand. It looks like ass. Excluding Michael Bay, because Michael Bay uses orange and teal all the time, and he made it look good. Art.
So, I forget what the hell I was going to say. So the other thing is, now that we're on the topic of color grading, I don't know how we got here, but like, knowing the difference between color correction and color grading. Yeah. And it's a big thing on TikTok right now. People's like, yeah, check out this color grade. I'm like, that was just a color correction that you made. That wasn't a grade. And then there's somewhere it's like, there's an actual color grade to it, where like the shadows will have a green tint to it, or the highlights I have what a color grade is. Like, there's an actual color difference in it.
Yes.
Whereas like everything looks the way it's supposed to look. No, that's color correction. When everything
Yes.
has like a feeling to it or like a color feeling to it, that's a color grade.
We know this. Yes.
Sorry, it's one of my rants that's about to come up really soon about color grade and color correction, making sure people know and understand the difference.
My favorite thing is when I said to someone, and Knives will probably call me a gatekeeper for this, but I don't care. Someone said, "Look at this color grade I did." I said, "Just because you made everything look fucking blue doesn't make it a color grade. Try again."
So so I don't know if y'all remember, I did a joke video one time where like I took all the trees in my video and made them blue.
It was disgusting and an abomination. Don't ever do it again.
I did this shit just for fucking fun.
I will remove your artist VIP status. How dare you?
I did it for fun. And it was hilarious just to see how many people was like, "Your trees are blue. Your trees are blue." Like, I know. I know. But I tell you, it goes to show how, like, when it comes to content, what people are paying attention to, or like how people can latch on to one thing and ignore everything else.
Let me ask you guys a question because I want to wind up here. We're hitting the 40-minute mark, and this is a great first episode. I know we said something like doing this monthly, and I think that's good for the bare minimum. If we can do this monthly, that'll be really, really fun. Ideally, in a perfect world, I'd love to do it weekly or something like that, but we all got lives. Let me ask you guys a question. If you could have one superpower where, look at it like a video game where you're stocked up at 10 and you have this ability that you don't have right now. For me, it would be like, just for an example, color grading, right? Like if I could be a great colorist and have that skill maxed out, and I know it would like really boost up my repertoire. If what would be that one pillar that maybe you guys don't have that if you wish you could just max it out that you would have? Turning a weakness into a strength.
I feel like my biggest weakness is lighting.
I would have never.
And you're
thought
gonna
you would
talk
say
to
that.
me about how flat my shit looks? How dare you, Cam? How dare you? No, your lighting looks great. What the fuck are you talking about? All right. He's over here with 3-point lighting. Yeah, my lighting looks like shit. I got a hairline over here. I got a key light. And I got a backlight. It's like, bro, like, your shit is very good. What are you talking about?
Like when it comes to lighting for me, I'm a perfectionist on it. Like I need everything. Like I need to have that, that quality that I like, that quality that I prefer. Like for you two, I love the way your stuff looks. It looks great, and that's your style, and I prefer that every time I see your stuff, this is what it looks like. For me, like I'm looking at it right now, it's like, okay, cool, I got the hair lit. Okay, cool, I got this lit. Okay, cool, my face is lit. But I was like, fuck, my background, it just looks so fucking boring. Like I need something there. I recently did a shoot where we were shooting in the studio. Like, all right, cool. The studio stuff was cool, but then we jumped in my car and we were doing some more shooting there. I recently looked back at the photos. I'm like, damn, the lighting isn't perfect. Like it's cool, it gets the job done, but it's like it's not where I personally think it should be. And the problem also is like I don't know where the fuck it should be. So for me, lighting is my weakness. Because truthfully, I don't give two shits about color grading or anything like that. I prefer color correction. Like I prefer color correcting my stuff over color grading.
So you would rather have a technically more impressive image than a non-technically impressive image?
Both. I'd rather have the knowledge and the technical skills.
Oh, well, I think it's to make your photos and your videos more dynamic, more sort of expressive. Is that's
exactly
what you mean, right?
like
it doesn't mean whether if it's technical or not, right? You still like say you're. I mean, once again, I'm not a photographer, but like using diffusers and certain things that like where you get to manipulate the light in a natural light environment. You still want to have that knowledge of like I'm using an ND filter, I'm using a fucking reflector over here. It's natural light. I'm not pointing lights, but you still want to be able to have that. Whether if it And that
Well,
doesn't necessarily make it a technical image, right? But it does make it. You are manipulating the light.
Hold on.
So
There.
let me give you an example. For instance,
Also, I
let's
still
go
want to hear
with-
David's answer.
I have a. Can I say my thing before you show us what you're going to show us, Cam?
Yep.
Okay, cool. When I say that something is a technically impressive image, I mean that the technical know-how behind it is impressive. That's when I say that. And there's technically impressive images and creatively impressive images, and they are two different things, and they are two very different topics and how we talk about photography. I know you can get mad at me, you can call me a gatekeeper all you want, but they are two different things.
You're gonna hear this back, and you're gonna be like, "Man, I was so mad when Knives called me a gatekeeper," which is funny because you're gatekeeping right now.
I'm not even that mad. I'm always up here.
So
you're gatekeeping right now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
And I hear exactly what you're saying. Like, for me, having the knowledge of the technical and doesn't influence my creative abilities, but it.
Did you take these photos, Cam, that you sent in the
All
chat?
of them. Yeah, all of them.
Oh, they're nice. Yeah, they're nice.
Pushes that creativity even further. Like, the more I know what this specific type of move is going to do, influences how I decide to take the photo at that particular time. Because, and David, you went walking around with me one time where we were out taking street photos. I don't know if
I think the more accurate, I think going by how you've described us that day, it sounds like you were more walking around with me, to be clear. Want to clear that up real quick.
Fine, we'll go with that.
Okay.
So you I don't know if you actually saw how I composed some of the shots that I did. Because
I saw some of them.
Because, like, you've seen the photos, but, like, the actions that I took that day. Because for me, like, whenever I'm out shooting, sometimes I'll stand in one place for, like, 5 minutes figuring out how do I want to compose this shot. Whether do I want to go low? Do I want to go high? Do I want to shoot through this? Do I want to shoot through that? Or do I just want this bear on?
Mm-hmm.
I'll look at the scene and compose the image in my head, and then I'll take it. But I've started doing
that for like 30 minutes out here.
So,
yeah.
David, I want to know if you could turn a weakness into a strength, what would that be?
Oh, composition.
Interesting.
Composition, 100%. I think that my compositions are lacking. Would you say?
You talk about me.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Compositions are on point.
No, they're not. They are always missing something. They are always 99% there, never that 1%, and that 1% makes a lot of a difference.
Every time I see one of your images, I'm like, yo, his composition is freaking great. The way he composed this, the way he left this out but left this in, the colors between the color contrast.
I feel like David is really thoughtful in his composition, that he is going for something. He has an image in his head, and he's trying to nail it.
Every time,
people don't.
Look at his composition right now. Like, he has literally
very thoughtful.
4 leading lines leading right to his face right now.
Well, yeah.
That's on purpose as well.
Did you say "fuck out of here"? Is that what I just heard you say, Cam? No. What I mean when I'm saying composition, right? There's always, when you look at a photo, when I look at a lot of street photography on Instagram or TikTok, and I look at it, and this is why I say the same thing about my composition. I look at it, I'm like, what are you trying to do with this? Because nowadays a lot of street photography is people that get a camera, they just go out and they start taking photos in a city, in their neighborhood, in a park, whatever, and that's fine.
I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not. No.
I'm kidding.
That's fine. That is street photography. But one of the things that really sets apart a street photographer from like the rest of them is there's a meaning behind it. There's a point to it. When I think of street photography, I think of Gordon Parks, Henri Cartier-Bresson, Vivian May. I think of these people who when they did street photography, they had something to say with it, and their compositions blow my mind when I still look at their work, and that's what I say when I say I wish composition was stronger for me, because I always am looking at these photos, I'm going, I'm missing something. There's this one thing in here, and I don't know what it is. Because even myself, I have not developed my voice to such a point that I know what I'm looking for. So it's not just like, rule of thirds or leading lines or all that kind of stuff for composition. There's also like the meaningness of the composition, the relationship between the characters in the shot and the background of the shot itself to me. I know it's a long-winded response to say, this is why I believe my photos are within that 90% of trash on Instagram right now, which also might be just me really looking into my photos just a little too much.
Well, and that's one thing, we're always going to look into our photo too much. Even as a filmmaker, he's always going to look into his videos.
Oh shit! Let him go. Here we go. Let's go. We got the Skywalker up in here. Yeah, I heard that.
The Skywalker? That was the Avengers. How dare you?
I was definitely the Avengers. I'll be right back.
Oh, Avengers.
His pizza's here. His pizza's here. Wow. Oh my God. It took him an hour to get the pizza.
I'm gonna mute him. I'm gonna mute him for a bit, just for now.
Yeah, do what he's got to do. You don't want to hear him tear up that pizza.
I'm gonna answer my own question, even though I've been thinking about it, and I was like, I suck at everything. If I could just snap my fingers and wake up with
what is that thing? And you know what? No. What is? I'll ask the question back to you. Make this official. Yeah. What is that one weakness you have that if you could dial that up to a strength, you would do it in a heartbeat? What is it?
I think it would be visual effects. Because I don't do any visual effects at all.
Okay.
I never have.
Wait. When you say visual effects, you're talking like Maya or Blender, or are you talking like makeup and whatnot?
No, good question. Even though I love like Stan Winston, Rick Baker, these guys, who do the actual practical makeup effects. That's what I'm talking about. I like people who do masking and are able to do interesting transitions and like in-camera effects. And I think one of the cool things, and the reason why I invested in an 8K camera was so I could do some really fun things with when you have an 8K resolution and you're able to kind of like zoom in and say you want to do like a 360 sort of thing, zoom, right? I just think that you can do that with more resolution, and so I wish I was more into special effects personally. Like
that is,
I think I'd be able.
Really,
I think I could. Some of my stories, I think, could really benefit from a little more pizzazz. I'm a very nuts and bolts, fundamentals, shot, reverse shot kind of filmmaker, super basic. But some of my favorite filmmakers have really subtle special effects, like the Coen brothers aren't filmmakers that you would think. When you think special effects, you think Spielberg, you think Michael Bay, you think the Russo brothers or somebody. But even someone like the Coen brothers, they do really interesting, wacky, crazy things with the camera. Like take the Big Lebowski for example. There's real dreamlike sequences that are happening that use special effects to really amplify that storytelling. Real just little subtle things, and I think if I could have that superpower, I would really know what to do with it. I'd spike the ball.
As a filmmaker, that is such a great fucking thing to want. Like I don't think about it like that because I'm a photographer. I focus on photography. Hopefully by the end of this year I'll be doing more filmmaking stuff. But like I don't think about it like that. I think that's just an interesting perspective to have in this trio that we got going on.
So Cam looks like he's good. He's
Cam.
He is going hard as a motherfucker on some pizza right now.
Dude, we can hear you, dude.
Oh shit, my bad.
I think we should go ahead and wrap this up. I want to thank the listeners for checking this out. There's more to come.
Wait, unmute Cam real quick.
He's not muted. He's not muted.
I just didn't say anything.
No, unless he muted himself.
Muted?
Yeah, you're good.
There you
man.
go.
You're good. As we're winding down here, I want to leave you guys with the final words. Anything you want to impart on the listeners? For me, this was a pleasure. Thank you guys so much for joining me on here. I'm super happy to be here. I'm the odd guy out, man, because I'm the videographer guy. I dabble with photography. I'm the poser that David's gatekeeping. That's me. He's gatekeeping
I'm not
me, guys like me.
gatekeeping anyone yet. Hold on. One day it will happen, but not right now.
I just wanted to call that back because it's really funny to me how how genuinely hot you were getting, and I mean no salt whatsoever. It's just kind of funny at this point. But I'll leave the rest to you
welcome.
guys.
So,
Love you
I
guys.
wanna
Thank you so much.
I want to say this. I love that we're doing this. This is amazing. You two are absolutely amazing. Knives, you've
Oh, I know.
always, huh?
Nothing. Go on.
Oh, so Knives, you've always told me that, like, I'm a filmmaker over a photographer, and I've always told you, I know you have a perspective that's different from everybody else. That's the reason why I included you in everything that I did. Because I knew you always had a perspective to give that would be different, and that's just what I like to see, with people with different perspectives coming together, making something. Doesn't matter what the hell we make, whatever it's community, an army, doesn't matter. Okay,
Appreciate it.
David,
Appreciate that.
I've always respected how true you are to yourself and how blunt you are. Love it. It's hilarious to me. The things that you put out and the things that you say. I keep doing that.
I'm going to.
You guys are.
It's working.
I'm more than okay with doing this once a month, but if you guys want to move this up to maybe twice a month or 4 times a month, either one works for me.
If we're doing 2 times a month, I really gotta I gotta really schedule that one out with my own podcast that I have.
But that's perfectly fine. I do
that 2 times. We can make it work.
Yeah, we can definitely make it work for sure. This was amazing. I'm surprised. I'm not even surprised we went for as long as we went.
Oh no, not at all. I do find it hysterical that off recording, we said we would introduce ourselves before we started the topic, and then we just jumped right into it. Love that. That was one of the things, though. That's what I will say. So Knives, dude. As much as you might not believe this, you give incredibly good nuggets of wisdom anytime we talk. Literally, I'll be like, yeah, man, those beans just aren't right. And then you just are like, yeah, but are you not right with the beans? And I'm like, what? Why does that make sense, though? What?
That's me.
It's
That's
shit
me,
like
right.
that. And I really appreciate that, and I love it. That's one of the reasons why I've continued talking with you and when it comes to Cam, when you are going to do something, you're going to fucking do something. It is the most respectable shit I have ever seen. When we met up in Philly, and I was like, yeah, we're just going to walk all the way to the Delaware River. You were like, okay, cool. You totally went with it, even though afterwards you did lament that it did some damage to you. So I will say,
I was just actually messing with you.
okay, cool. Get on my level. But
Hey,
anyway,
I did that walk 2 days ago.
Oh yeah. That's God. I can't wait to see the stuff that came out of that. Send me those photos, definitely. But anyway, all right. One of y'all can sign this off because it's not my podcast. It's
before we sign off, where can everybody find you guys and support you guys? Now's the time to link your websites, link your TikToks, link your Twitters, whatever you guys want to put over.
I will unabashedly do this. You can find me on Instagram at the David Lugowski, and the same thing on TikTok at the David Lugowski, and then the same thing on Twitter at the David Lugowski, because they don't let you have more than 15 letters, so you gotta take the I out of the D. That sounded wrong. On YouTube, I am David Lugowski, and if you go on my website, you can sign up for my mailing list. I have a lot of great stuff that I send out every 2 weeks, so be on the look for that.
That was a little too perfect, but
I've been doing it for so long, you kind of get used to saying it a certain way.
Well, I'm gonna keep mine simple. You can just find me on TikTok at What's Up Cam 0. Still need to talk to the person that had just What's Up Cam, and you can also find me on IG at Images by Cam.
And that's
Knives, where do we find you?
That's What's Up Cam 0 with the numerical 0, not ZERO. It's the numerical 0. So yeah, definitely.
Isn't it underscore 0? Wait, is it not underscore 0?
It's not underscore.
No, I'm an idiot then. Damn.
At What's Up Cam 0, just to not confuse anybody. You guys can find me at Knives Monroe on all the things. Thank you so much for listening to 2 white guys, 1 black guy.
Whoa, hey. No.
Oh, sorry. Oh, we're not. I made a mistake.
Canceled.
I made a mistake.
Canceled.
We'll see you guys next time.
Deuces, people.